listen-only mode.
Hello everybody, Keith Doherty here and welcome to this very special presentation on this Thursday afternoon. We're at a little past 3 o'clock Eastern. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. We'll give people just a couple minutes to jump in. Before we get started, let's just make sure that the audio is up and running. So if you can hear me, okay, just type yes in the question box. Let's just make sure that we have audio. Looks like yes, the audio is all functioning and all is well. Hey, Terry and Ramel and Danny and Tony and Valentia, James, John, Peter. All right, we got a full house today. So good. The audio is working, so that's a good thing. And like I said, we're going to get started here in probably just about a minute or so. We're just making sure we have everything in order so we can show you guys everything and give you some really cool stuff today. So Matthew's calling in from London, so welcome Matthew. If anybody else wants to tell me where you're calling in from, just drop that in the question box. It's always interesting to see the diverse audience that we do get on the training call. So we have Danny's out of Minnesota, Tony's out of New York City, John's out of London as well. Ramel is out of the Virgin Islands, so welcome. James, Tampa. So James, you're here in the same state. I'm over here on the east side. I'm just north of West Palm Beach in Florida. Excellent. So it looks like we said Joe is from Pittsburgh, Birmingham, Michigan. Excellent. Excellent. We got Steve, really? You're right here where I live? Steve, seriously, you live right here in the same town as me? Or I guess it's considered a city. So Jess is in Fargo. Peter is in Australia. Flo from Vancouver, Canada. So welcome, Flo. Stephen, well, that's cool. Pretty cool that you live right here. It's rare that people I find, bigger cities, people tend to be like, oh, yeah, but Port St. Lucie isn't exactly the biggest city around, but that's pretty cool, Stephen. So welcome to the call. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about, we all know that e-commerce is just a phenomenal way to generate revenue, and it's a great business model, and it's been around for years. And with the emergence of Shopify, it certainly made things a lot easier to get involved and to be able to start up your own store. But there's still always issues. There's still always things. It's not just, click a button, set up a store, and make money, right? If everything was that easy, everybody would do it, right? So, and welcome, Gary's jumping in from Melbourne, Australia. So it's 5 a.m. So Gary was dedicated, 5 a.m. He's on this call. So welcome, Gary. So what I want to talk to you about today, and I'm actually joined by my partner in crime here today in this call. Mr. Russell Snyder is with us. He's preparing things in the background. He's going to come on with us here in just a second. But what Russell and I have, we've known each other for almost 2 years now, and we got together a few years ago on a book project I was putting together because Russell is just a phenomenal guy when it comes to processes and connections, and he actually has a long history of e-commerce, not just in the online fashion, but in the offline world where he actually built up a business. So that's how we connected when we were putting this project together, and he's a great guy, and I'm excited to work with him here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick introduction for people that might not know who we are, just to kind of give you a quick background so you understand, how we've kind of come together and why we're here talking about e-commerce today. And then we're going to dive right in and get you guys into the actual training. So with that said, I'm going to make sure we have Russell on the call with us. Russell, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far.
So what we're going to do real quick, I'm going to hand it over to Russell, and he's going to kind of just give you a quick overview of his background so you kind of know where he's came from and kind of how he's gotten here today.
So hello, everybody. So great to be here. I have an e-commerce background. So I built a company back in the old days, and it was a B2B and B2G, which means business to government and business to business company selling technology products, and grew it up to a pretty sizable, a good size, and then sold the company. And then after that, took a couple of years off, and then decided to try a whole different kind of business. But I have an intimate knowledge of the e-commerce landscape, so I founded Ad Factory along with Pat Friedel, and and that became very popular because it was an easy way to save people time. So some other things about me are that I love to travel. So I love this kind of business, so this virtual business, both e-commerce and software, because it allows you to travel. And my biggest accomplishment is that I have a pretty awesome family. I have a 10-year-old daughter. She just turned 10, and a 12-year-old boy, and a crazy, and I mean literally crazy dog. And so that's it about me. But I'm really passionate about building software now that helps people save time or provides them with competitive advantages in e-commerce.
Excellent. And just a quick background on me. I did the old traditional route of, I went to school, I got a degree in business. I became a Microsoft certified systems engineer, played around with building networks and computers and domains and all that fun stuff. I got bored with playing with computers, so I'm like, hey, let me trade in my computer for a gun. So I decided to become a police officer. Chased bad guys down in South Florida, down in Fort Lauderdale area. Did that for a while. Left that to create a brick and mortar business. Built that up to the first year we did 1.2 million. Next year we did 2.4 million dollars in about 2 years. Then we had some things shift with the provider we were working with, and we decided that it just wasn't, it was a pain in the butt. So I left that, plus the employees were just a pain to deal with. Started my online business back in 2009. I jumped into SEO, learned that, signed some contracts, actually signed a big deal that year for $60,000, and that kind of just catapulted me into everything. Then I started doing publishing, book publishing, became a #1 best-selling author. I've done a lot of list building, have well over, and actually that number I haven't changed it. It's over 100, I think 195,000 now. Do a lot of paid traffic stuff when it comes to list building, lead gen, Facebook, and of course physical products. That was really fun. I got involved in that back when Teespring was around. We've done about over, I think we've done on about $250,000 with Teespring. And then of course Shopify has emerged, onto the scene as well. So that's just kind of a quick overview of what I have done to kind of get to this point here today, and kind of why I'm sitting here with Russell. And the reason Russell and I came together, like I said, is we were kind of working on a project together, and then we've also, we developed a new, some of you have used our new tool, Ecom Inspector, as well. And that's something we partnered up on with Pat Friedel. So that's, another software tool, something else in the e-commerce world that works extremely well. So let's just cover a few ground rules, and we're all adults here, but we need to make sure that, whenever we're going to talk about results today, that they're not going to be remotely typical. When we talk about making money, we're not implying that you or anyone will achieve any results or do anything. And when we talk about our clients or customers, please know that their results are not typical either. All business entails risk, and you have to actually work to get results, right? We all understand this. We're all big boys and big girls on this call. We know that we actually have to put in the time, we have to put in the work to get the results that we want. But we just want to make sure we're all on the same page. We understand that there's no get rich quick. There's nothing, a magic push button that's going to take us instantly to the finish line. It doesn't exist. We have to put in the work, and we have to put in the time. But that doesn't mean we can't follow a system that's proven to do things in the past and potentially get results faster than if we try to do things on our own. So basically, the e-commerce market is reaching $1.9 trillion in 2016. That was in 2016, and it's just ridiculous, and it's expected to grow to $4 trillion by 2020. So how many people would just like to take a little piece of that? I mean, I would probably take a tenth of 1% on that, right? Just think about what that could mean. $4 trillion it's expected by 2020. I mean, how many people on here would like to just have a little small piece of that pie, right? We don't have to be greedy. With a $4 trillion market, that's a pretty big market for us to be able to tap into, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? So here's just another example of what's happening in the shift when it comes to e-commerce. So we look at these stores. You look at stores like Best Buy and JCPenney's and Kohl's and Macy's and all these traditional brick and mortar stores that were doing phenomenal. Right back in 2006, these stores were doing great, 28 billion, 18 billion, 51, 27. You guys can see they're doing phenomenal. But then look what has happened within about a 10-year shift. most of them, their value is dropped almost 50%, if not higher. I mean, look at Best Buy diving down 49%. J.C. Penney, 83%. They went from 18 to 3 billion. Kohl's, 60%. Macy's, 46%. Nordstrom, they held okay. You know, they lost, but they still lost 20%, right? That's still, it's $11 billion they lost when it comes to their market value. Sears, the Sears just tanked. You know, Sears, I don't even know how they're even still open. Target, you know, they kind of held their own. Walmart, Walmart was an online thing. That's how they were different, right? They had brick and mortar, but they also had online. So they grew 2%. So that's not like, wow, but that's still pretty impressive during this major downshift from the brick and mortar to the online e-commerce world, that they maintain their platform. And then, of course, we all know about Amazon. Look what happened to Amazon. I mean, that's just ridiculous. They went from 17 billion to 353 or 351 billion. That's a 1,900% increase. That is ridiculous, right? What they basically did is they sucked up all the market value from all those other companies, and they basically just, you know, they took it. They took it right over, and Amazon became a monster. So, you know, this is a clear indicator that there's massive opportunity right now because this marketplace is so big and the shift is such in a predominant force that if we can take advantage of this in the best way, that we can build our own businesses, and we don't need to be greedy. We don't need a big piece of the pie. We can take a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver, and you can still live a very, very comfortable life with this. So obviously with this massive opportunity, you know, you can build an e-commerce business right now. You know, e-commerce businesses require less startup capital and less risk than most other types of businesses, right? You know, you have things like Shopify that make it easy. Literally for $29, you can go over and actually Shopify has a trial. So I think for 14 days you can get Shopify for free, and you can get it all set up, and when you're ready to launch and actually, you know, make money, it's like $29 a month. Literally, you can set up a store for $29. I mean, that's just the pure insanity. A $29 barrier to entry to a $4 trillion market where it's going to be in 2020. And of course, ad platforms such as Facebook provide an almost automated sales engine that can power your company to millions in revenue per year, right? We all know the power of Facebook. Facebook went out and they got extremely smart. They not only collect all this data about you and learn about all your habits and everything you like, they actually partnered with these 3 data conglomerates that are international companies. And these companies hold data on everything from mortgages to what kind of cars you drive, to what kind of spending habits, to credit cards, all this stuff. So what Facebook did by connecting with these 3 companies is they took their data that you give Facebook, right, and they make you confirm just about everything this day and age. So they match this up with these companies, and they say, oh, well, here's Keith, and we see that he got a mortgage in this year, and he bought this car in this year, and he tends to be an active credit card user, and he likes tennis, and he likes golf, and he likes these things, right? So they matched all these things up with this company so that we have this data where we can drill down and we can literally target very, very specific people that could potentially be interested in our e-commerce store and the products that we have. And that's really what the power and where you're able to look at right now and build your store out, because you have all these tools at your disposal. So there is kind of a problem though, right? I made it sound pretty simple, right? I made it sound like with $29 in a dream, right? Did it sound that easy to everybody? With 29 bucks, you can open a store and you can make millions, right? It might have kind of sounded like that from that last slide, but there is kind of a little bit of a problem when, you know, when you're actually looking at this. And the problem is that the competition is fierce. There's an increasing amount of competition. There's new Shopify stores being set up daily, just like what happened when the t-shirt trend came. You know, a few years ago, the t-shirt trend came. Everybody jumped on the board. Everybody jumped into all the same niches. Everybody was focusing on, you know, nurses and all the common ones that you know, I mean, just you guys know that what happens is when marketers get involved in a product, that everybody jumps in and they just saturate. And this is how cool this was actually kind of interesting. I don't know how many of you remember a few years ago when we ran the name campaigns. How many people remember the name campaigns on Facebook when you could run a t-shirt that said you know, proud Doherty, right? That's my last name, Doherty. So you could say, you know, or lifetime member Team Doherty, right? Established whenever, you know. So we could run those ads back on Facebook years ago, and we were able to target specific people by their last name, And we sold, like, between myself and my students, we did almost $500,000 within about a 6-week time frame because it was that powerful. But what also happened is all the marketers jumped in and there was millions made. I mean, millions upon millions made in that time frame. And then all of a sudden the users on Facebook got really nervous. They're like, how they didn't know how that, they were seeing a t-shirt with their last name on it. So they got scared. Next thing you know, Facebook's like, wait a minute. We don't want you doing that. You're making people nervous by putting their name on the shirt and showing it to them in the newsfeed, even though they give their name to Facebook, so it's pretty obvious how we got to them. They didn't like it. So because of the marketers, Facebook changed its terms of service, and now you can't do that. You can't get the data for specific last names, and you can't target like that and call people out by name. Facebook doesn't like it. They'll terminate your account. But this is how competition becomes fierce, because once marketers get into on the bandwagon, right, they just ride the heck out of it until something usually happens. Usually the wagon falls apart, and that's the biggest problem. The other thing is there's low barriers to entry, right? With the ease of importing, people can basically, anybody can do this. We talked about it, right? 29 bucks, set up a store. You can import products from AliExpress. It's easy, right? The things that aren't licensed, that are not licensed, are patented products, but the licenses are sometimes tricky. So the high-end stuff, the exclusivity type things, nobody's really selling those because they can't get those, like the licensed merchandise, all that kind of stuff. It's harder to get that. But everybody has the commodity stuff. Everybody can go to AliExpress and find, the flashlight that everybody's selling on Facebook, or whatever the USB cable or the newest iPhone cable or whatever it is, right? Everybody can go and find that. So there's no real creativity there, and everything is becoming a commodity. So that's part of the problem. So there is actually a new way to compete. There's something you can actually do to stand out from the competition. And the best thing you can do to stand out from your competition is offer personalized print-on-demand products. So this is actually a two-tier benefit, right? So the first thing is personalized products. What does that mean? What does that mean? It basically means I can go to a store, right? I can go to a Shopify store, and I can see this necklace that says True Love on it. Now, this was just a quick example, and I could put my wife's name on it. So I could go to the store and I could say, you know what, I want to buy this True Love necklace for my wife, and I'm gonna put her name on it, right? Or maybe I would put my name on it and give it to her to wear, right? That would probably actually make more sense. The point is, it's personalized. I can put my name on it. I can put my wife's name. I can put my partner's name. I can put my boyfriend, my girlfriend. It doesn't matter. My children. You can personalize it. So that's the first stage that can make you stand out from anybody else in the e-commerce marketplace. The next thing that's really powerful is print on demand. And how is that powerful? With print on demand products, right, these products don't exist. They're just sitting there. Like this necklace, this blank necklace is sitting in an inventory for one of these print on demand companies. So when my order comes through my Shopify store and somebody personalizes and they put their name on it, the order then gets sent to the print-on-demand company. They create the product. So the product didn't even exist before the order happened. So they create the product, they create it, they ship it to my consumer, and then once they ship it, their information comes back into my Shopify store, and it triggers an email and a shipping code that sends out to my customer and says, hey, your order is shipped, your True Love necklace is on its way, here's your tracking code. So I didn't have to go to AliExpress. I didn't have to order anything and drop ship it. I didn't have to wait, 4 to 6 weeks for packages to show up from China. Now, granted, that still works for some things, and I know you can do e-packet and still get things here in 10 to 12 days. But why wouldn't you want to take the easy road? Offer a higher end product, one that people can personalize so they're willing to pay more money because there's emotion tied to that purchase now, right? And it's print on demand, so I don't have to touch these products. I don't have to order the products. I don't have to hire a VA. I don't have to do anything. I let the print on demand company do what they do. So they print it, they ship it. I just sit here and worry about driving traffic, and I have fun all day, right? That's the really cool thing about this. You might be asking, but how can you do this, right? This doesn't seem like a common thing. And there's some things out there that allow you to do it, but there actually is an ideal way that you can do it. And that new piece of software that I want to talk to you about today is actually called Customplex. And Customplex is a private, invite-only Shopify app which enables your Shopify store to offer personalized products rendered in real time. Now that's the key right there. You can go to Amazon right now and people sell personalized products, right? You can go there and that same necklace I showed you, you could probably find somebody on Amazon having that on Amazon. Then there's a field that says, what name do you want to show on the necklace? The problem is it's not rendered in real time. The people don't get to actually see their product. They only get to just see, well, there's the necklace. I can kind of see what it looks like. I might know what it looks like with my wife's name on it, right? But I can't see it in real time. So the power of Customplex, one of the major things that Customplex does is it renders graphics. It renders the product. It creates the product right before the consumer's eyes. So as they type their name in, as I put my wife's name or my child's name that I'm really passionate about, right? Because that's my family. Those are people I love. So as I type their name out and then I get to see it on the screen, what that also does for you is it creates an emotional connection to that product. And I don't care what anybody else has told you, but the easiest way to sell any type of product is to tap into somebody's emotion. You can justify things all day long with specific line items and all the ins and outs and this and that. But when you can tie into somebody's emotion, you can make them make decisions and move in a quick manner. So by rendering products in real time, Customplex is going to do that for you, and it's going to engage your consumer. You're going to have higher profit margins because you're offering personalization, and you're going to also have a higher emotional connections, which leads to what? Higher conversion rates, right? That's what the goal is here, to get and make more potential money. So Customplex was created by Tobias Berlin. He's actually on the call with us here, but he's behind the scenes. So if you have any questions, and you can drop them in throughout the call, but he's behind the scenes, so drop them in the question box. He's there. He'll answer them for you. Be happy to answer and help you with anything that we can. And of course, you guys met Russell already, right? So Russell and Tobias, as well as Pat Friedel, he's our behind the scenes guy. Pat's like the underground guy that does a lot of the coding along with Tobias. So these are the guys that created Customplex, and they're behind the scenes. Now, I have to ask you guys something. I need to get you to respond, so I need you to kind of pay attention right now really quick. And just in case you were switching off to another screen, or maybe you weren't focused here just yet, we need to come back together and make sure we're on the same page. So I need to keep this confidential, and the reason is we're not doing a mass market rollout at this time, and we prefer that the people that decide to move forward, you have a runway with without much competition. So basically what we're trying to do is we're not rolling out this application to everybody. So it's very quiet, it's very private. So I need you guys to keep this confidential. Don't run out and be like telling everybody like, oh my gosh, I just saw the greatest thing in the world. I know it sounds kind of weird that a company would do that, right? Normally you would say, hey, we want you to tell everybody about our application. We're not doing that. We're doing it for two reasons. We're keeping it private for right now, and mainly because we want you to have the ability to have a leg up on all the competition. So the people that are smart and jump in on this and take advantage of it, you're going to have that runway to actually get out there with a lot less competition, because nobody else is going to be able to offer this unique type of solution like you'll be able to. So if you guys are good with that, just type a 1 in the question box for me, just so I know we're on the same page, and I make sure that you guys are cool that, if you want that unfair advantage, it just makes sense. So just type that 1. Excellent. Everybody's screen scrolling, everybody's typing 1. So I appreciate that. So thank you very much for doing that for me, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and so this is just another quick thing about the software. I just want to cover this. Now, while this may be the coolest software ever, which I think it is, I think it's just phenomenal. There's no promise or guarantee that you'll make income. So you can't just put this on your Shopify store. I think we're all pretty smart here, right? You can't just install the app and think you're going to have money coming out the other side. I know people might, people might try to sell you something like that, but that's not what we're here to do today. So you can't just install it and expect you're going to make anything at all. As with any tool, your own results are going to vary based upon all the different factors that are involved, and this is obviously not a get-rich-quick, for anything like that. So let me kind of walk you through the simple process of how Customplex works. So basically, here's all you have to do. First thing is, step 1, set up a store. Well, let me ask you this. How many people have a Shopify? If you have a Shopify store, type in number 2 for me. If you already have a Shopify store, type in number 2. Okay. And if you don't have a Shopify store, type in number 3. So in number 2, you have a store, and number 3, you don't have a store. Okay. Okay. So we got a good mix. That's okay. That's fine. So I'll make sure I cover this. So step 1 is you do have to have the store. So for the people that already have it, if you already have the store set up, you're already done, right? You're already done with step one. Now, if you don't have it, it's okay. You can set up a Shopify store. I would say, conservatively, from start to finish, it probably takes a good 2 to 3 hours to set up the store, add your stuff, get everything going. Probably takes 2 to 3 hours. So it's not extremely time sensitive. So it's not that big a deal, really. So if you already have one, you're ready to go. If you don't, you can get one set up quickly and easily. Step number 2 is you install CustomPlex. Anybody can do this. You literally click a button. Once you're logged in your store, you click a button inside the CustomPlex members area, and it installs on your store in literally like under 60 seconds. That's easy, right? Everybody can do that. Click a button, 60 seconds, done. That simple. Then all you have to do is add a product. And we're going to walk you through, you're actually going to see a full demo of exactly how easy it is to add a product. Anything from t-shirts to mugs to pillows to necklaces to anything you want. The platform is wide open, and you're going to see that you can add any product you want. That's the cool thing. So step 3 is you add a product that people can personalize. And then step number 4 is you start selling. It literally is that simple. So you need the store, you install the app, you add a product. Now, you don't need a bunch of products. Some people say, well, Keith, do I need to add like 5, 10, 20? No. You can literally add one product and then go to step 4 and start selling. You do not have to have a whole bunch of products on your store. We've started many stores. Me personally, others I know, have just started a store and put one product on there, and we start driving traffic to that product. So you don't need to go have a full product catalog in order to get things going, especially with personalization. It's a huge thing that you don't need that. So do you guys want to see some examples of exactly how you can use this, and then we'll get into an actual demo? So, basically I'm going to show you some examples and some case studies on, the kind of revenue and the things you could expect, and then we're going to show you an actual live demo. All right, everybody's saying excellent, excellent. Yes, 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 please. All right, cool. So let's take a look at this first case study, a baby pillow. So we went out to the internet, right? We went out to the interwebs, and we did a search, and we were able to find this company that offered these really cool pillows. So this isn't ours. We found this company that offers this pillow that says the child's name, Wyatt David Jackson, the date that Wyatt was born, the time, the length, and then the pounds and ounces that Wyatt was born. So the problem with this site is I can order this pillow and spend $34.99, plus I imagine they charge shipping and all that other fun stuff, right? So, but the problem is I can't customize this, right? They're going to give me fields where I can pick, okay, I want a blue one or a pink one, and then basically, I can enter my child's first name, middle name, last name, all those measurements and everything, but I can't see it. So that's kind of a problem for me, because I'm like, man, 35 bucks. I know it looks kind of cool there, but man, if I could see my child's name on that, do you think that would create a stronger emotional connection with me? So this company doesn't use that. So what we did is we said, okay, what if we take this? Now, I did this myself. I did this rather quickly. Now, mind you, you could put this together and make it look a lot nicer, but I wanted to show you how fast you could do this. I put this together in probably about, now mind you, this has a massive amount of customization, right? It has a first name, a middle and a last name, the date, the time, all the pounds, the ounce, all that stuff. So this, you can see on the right-hand side all the layers, and that's the customization. This took me probably, I'd say, about 30 minutes to put together. Normally, when you put a product together, you're only going to have one personalization piece, usually like just a name, a first name, maybe a last name, something simple. The most advanced people usually sells 1 or 2 things. So I got a little carried away with this one because I'm like, man, this thing's got so many. Let me see how quickly I can do it and show this example. So this is the back end side of CustomPlex where I set this up. So I have a field for all this information for the first name, the middle, and when I switch to him, he's going to show you exactly how this works on the back end. But basically, I set this up on the back end as a template. So this is the template in the back end of our store. And then this is what it looks like on the front end. So this is where people come to our Shopify store, and now they can buy this pillow. So now they can buy this pillow, and here's what they do. So they can type in the first name, the middle and last name, so Michael David Jackson. They can type in the date of birth, the length. They get to type in the time, the pounds, the ounces, and that's it. They type in all that information, and now they get to see the product. It rendered this product in real time. So now I'm sitting here looking, thinking, well, that's so cool. There's my son, right? My son was born, Michael David Jackson, on 12/23. How cool is that? So now what this does is, by creating this in real time, like I said earlier, the big thing is we're connecting with somebody's emotions because we're tying them to a product that they just created. This product did not exist 5 minutes before they entered this information. Here's the other cool thing where we take this thing a step further. Ganti says, can you change the fonts and the size? Yes. Ganti, you can control all that. And when we get to Russell, he's going to show you all that. So that's a great question. Yes, you can change all that. And Russell's going to show you that when he does a full demo for you guys in a few minutes here. So this is the cool thing we did. We said, hey, can we, once the product's created, right, because it's a brand new product, it's rendered in real time. Once that person renders that and creates that in real time, we said, wouldn't it make sense to carry that product into the shopping cart? Because, right, why would we just want to show some other blank pillow there? If we can show them what this is going to do is, right, this is my product. So as a parent, or you know, maybe as a grandparent or somebody, a relative that has an emotional connection to this child, creates this product. Now they get to the shopping cart, right? And now they see their pillow again. Oh, there's my son, Michael David Jackson, the baby pillow, you know, VIP. So we carried it over there. So there's a less, this helps lower potential abandoned carts because the product is still there in their face. So the emotional connection moves from the order page to the shopping cart. And we did that on purpose. So here's what happens. So they check out, and then on the back end, this product goes into our back end. Now we're integrated with a few different suppliers. We talked about, you know, kind of making this hands off where you could just send it off to a supplier and you don't have to worry. So this product is integrated with a supplier, and what happens is this order will go over to that supplier. They'll create the pillow and they'll ship the pillow out to the consumer. We don't touch the pillow. We don't make the pillow. We don't do anything other than collect the money on the front end, and then we just pay the supplier a small fee on the back end to make it for us, and that's it. It's literally that simple. And Russell's going to go into this in more detail when he shows you the product. But let's look at where the real fun comes in when it comes to these products, right? Let's look at a profit breakdown on the baby pillow. So let's say we sold this pillow for $39.99, okay? Let's say we sold it for $39.99. Let's say we're in a generous mood for our store, and we're going to offer free shipping and handling. Free shipping and handling, order today, $39.99. So $39.99 comes into our Shopify store. If you're new to Shopify, just so you understand, when you collect that money, it's your money. You collect that $39.99 either via PayPal or Stripe. Those are the two preferred methods that you normally would set up. So if you use Stripe, normally your first deposit from Stripe takes 7 days, but after that they deposit money usually in 2 business days. So at most you might have to wait 2 business days to get your $39. If they use PayPal, you're going to get that $39.99 directly into your account. But the point is, you get that money up front. It's not going to a supplier. It's not going to somebody that's going to pay you an affiliate commission or anything like that. The money comes into you. It's your money. It's your store. So let's say we used, there's a company called Printful out there. We use them to fulfill this. So they're the ones, let's say we have to pay them to make this pillow and send it out. So the cost for them to send the pillow, to create it and send it, is $17. And so now our profit on this deal here is $22.99. How many people would be happy with a profit on a product of $22.99? How many people would be happy? Does that seem better than selling a free plus shipping necklace where I can make $2 or $3 on? Something I have a profit margin of over $20. That's definitely more appealing to me than, like I said, a free plus shipping necklace where I'm going to give it away free and they're going to pay me $6.99 or $9.99 and I'm going to make, you know, a few dollars on that. All right, so that's the first example, case study number 1. So case study number 2, this is another cool product here. So what we did is we went out and found this product called Couples Key Dates. So this is very cool, right? This does a couple of things. This ties into emotion from the sense of putting people's names on it, and this actually ties into even more of a connection because there's dates involved. So this is highly personalized. So when people do this, they're like, holy cow, this is just amazing. So we can see here that the Couples Key Dates wall art, they have a price range anywhere from $80 to $125 depending on the kind you get. So we replicated this inside of Customplex and we set this up. So the date we met, our first date, our first kiss, and then the names, right? So they got the 3 dates and they have the couple's names on there. So this is really powerful, and actually you guys want me to share a I just thought, I got kind of a ninja trick for this. Do you guys want kind of a ninja trick of how you could promote this? And that a lot of people probably don't even realize you could do this. It's an easy way to target this stuff on Facebook that a lot of people don't know about. If you guys are interested, just type yes in the question box, and I'll take a brief detour for you, because I think this is pretty powerful here, that somebody could take this and do some amazing stuff with it. I think the yeses are just blowing up the question box here. All right, so here's what you can do. So think about this. So I know this might be stereotypical, so excuse me ahead of time. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but typically, okay, so typically, from what we've seen, data shows this, the history shows this, that a lot of times men, okay, and I know I'm being stereotypical, but I'm a guy, so I can pick on guys, right? So men a lot of times tend to forget anniversaries, right? Sometimes I don't know if I have. I don't think I have. I think I've been pretty good. I've been married for 17 years. I've been pretty good. But a lot of times men tend to forget things, okay? Especially anniversaries, which gets them in a lot of trouble, and they end up in the doghouse, right? They do not want to be in the doghouse. So what you could do for a product like this, because I'm sure if I was to give my wife something like this, she would just be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. The day we first met, I mean, how cool is that you took the time? Now, you may have to do a little research to try to remember that back. Maybe you got to pick your wife's brain a little bit and say, I was thinking, that day we met, I'm sure you hopefully remember the day. Do you remember what day that was? So find a way to get the information if you don't know it. But if you could get all that information, then you put your wife's name on there and you send this. Next thing you know, you don't forget the anniversary. And not only don't you forget it, but you come in with a personalized gift that's so unique that nobody else has this. The date we met, the day we met, our first date, and our first kiss. Now, how can you target these things? Now, how can you actually target these things on Facebook? So some of you may or may not know this, but if you go into Facebook, and so you set up your normal targeting. So I would target men, right, that are married. So I would do that. That's the simple part, men that are married. And then in the interest box, type in upcoming anniversary. So if you type in upcoming anniversary, it's going to say upcoming anniversary. I think it says 30 days, and then I think it says like 30 to 60 or 60 to 90. There's a couple different tiers. I would pick the one that's like 60 to 90 days. So I would target men that are married. Interest, I would target upcoming anniversary 60 to 90 days, and then I would put an ad in front of them saying, don't be in the doghouse this year. Get your wife this awesome anniversary gift and show her how much you love her. And then send them over to this page and let them order something like this. It could be this. You guys can copy this. It's fine with us if you want to steal it and make your own version. But that's the power of this. You could do something like that. You could target men that are married that have an upcoming anniversary, and then boom, throw this product in front of them. How many people think that's a pretty cool idea? How many people knew you could target like that you could actually target? You can target upcoming anniversary. You can target upcoming birthdays. You can do upcoming friends' birthday. It's crazy. So it's really neat the kind of different things you can actually do with Facebook targeting, but not a lot of people use that. So it's something you could use to really stand out and do something different. A lot of people are saying, cool, didn't know, great idea. Awesome. So let's look at this. So behind the scenes, same thing. Like I said, Russell's going to cover this in more detail. The order comes in. It goes over to the supplier. So the supplier goes ahead and fills it. And let's look at a profit breakdown. Okay, let's look at a profit breakdown here. So let's say we sold this for $139.99. Big poster that's framed, and they can basically sell or sell it and have it for their significant other. We're nice again. We basically offer shipping and handling is free, so we're really great. So $139.99 comes into our pocket. This is in our pocket. We have this money. The cost for Printful, so if we were to use Printful, it would be $85 for them to make this and to send it out for you. So it's print on demand. We don't touch it. So the profit now is $54.99. So this is just how crazy this is. So let's say some people are like, well, I don't know if I'd charge $139. Okay. So let's say you take 30 bucks off. You could charge $109. So you'd still make $24 profit. How many people are starting to see the power here that the profit margins are going to be a lot higher than anything you can do with AliExpress? Most products people sell on there are low end, low margin, and the profit sucks. And then I got to drop ship it and do all this other stuff that's not fun. Printful works with a lot of different things, Jennifer. It's one of the things we're integrated with, and we're going to talk about that in more detail. Some people are asking what kind of products can we offer. You can offer any kind of product you want, and we're going to show you the specific integrations we already have, but you can actually bring anybody you want to the table with CustomPlex. So how many people think that's pretty cool that you could have another potential profit item of this one, well over $50? And even if you lowered your price and wanted to go crazy with it, the margins are still there. All right. So here's in the case study. I wanted to show you kind of the flexibility of CustomPlex. Now, these are all print-on-demand products, which to me personally is the way to go. But there is another way that you could still go, because I wanted to show you that you can offer any product you want on CustomPlex, and it doesn't even have to be a print-on-demand supplier. You can use anybody. So let's take this for example. This is a really popular company that does personalization items. So I found this flask. And I said, wow, look at this flask. This flask is cool. It's $24.99. I said, what? That's a pretty, to me it still seemed expensive for a flask, 25 bucks for a metal tool, a metal flask, right? I guess if you're a drinker, then maybe you would appreciate the flask more so. So I look at this, I'm like $24.99. I'm like, okay, so I add it to my cart. So this is a popular store that's out there in the United States. So I added to my cart. And it wasn't just $24.99. I thought it was $24.99 and I get to put something on it. Well, I was wrong. They wanted another $28 to personalize this. So this just shows you what people are doing in the personalization field. They wanted 25 bucks just to buy this flask. They wanted another 28. So even more than the flask cost, they wanted $28 to write on the thing, right? They weren't done there. They then wanted shipping of $10. And they wanted a sales tax because I'm based in Florida and they have a store here in Florida, right? They wanted $67.04 to actually, for me to buy this item. So for me to personalize this item, for me to get it shipped to me. So for me to get this item personalized and shipped to me, $67, a little excessive. So we want to kind of show the power of what CustomPlex can do. So I went over to AliExpress. I went over to AliExpress and I typed in personalized flask, I think, or personalized stainless steel. I did something, right? So here's this flask that comes up. Now check this out. I can buy this flask from AliExpress, personalized. So they'll personalize this flask. They'll put anything I want on this flask. And Derry, yes, this is a live and interactive webinar. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask us. So for $6.54, you can buy this flask, have it personalized, and have it sent to the United States via e-packet, which I recommend if you do ship anything via AliExpress, you look for e-packet so people aren't waiting, 4 to 6 weeks to actually get things for them, so they're not waiting. So we can get this personalized and shipped, $6.54, right? So let's say so if we put this into CustomPlex, let's look at the profit breakdown. Let's say we just know we saw one of these popular stores that sells a flask, and it would have cost me $67. So let's say we're being nice here. Oh, we're going to sell this thing for $49. Free shipping and handling. So the $49.99 comes into our pockets. We go to AliExpress and order this thing and ship it to the consumer, $6.54. So our profit on this one, $43.45. How many people think that's pretty cool? How many people think that's pretty cool where the profit margin is just ridiculous on these? Because they're a lot better than free plus shipping or basic items. Everybody's saying awesome, awesome, yes, 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 for sure. All right, so the power of personalization is, and people are asking, and I'm just going to keep hitting the enter key because there's so many things on there. Any product you can think of, any product that's out there that can be personalized. If a company offers personalization, you can get the product. So we let the platform open enough so that you can use anybody you want. So let me give you guys here's another ninja trick for you guys to be able to offer something that nobody else has. So here's what you can do. So here's a perfect example. Is everybody here familiar with Etsy? Is everybody here familiar with Etsy? Just type a yes in the question box if you've heard of Etsy. All right. Yes, most people have. Somebody said so. Etsy, if you haven't, real quick, Etsy's like it's a platform where it tends to be very artistic people that have creative products that can go and sell products. So they may custom weave their own bracelets or make some kind of stuff. So let's say I go over there and I find something. Yeah, ETSY, Dairy, Etsy. So let's say I go over there and let's say I find something unique. Like let's say I find a wooden wall clock that they'll personalize, that they'll put my last name in. So there's this big piece of wood that they handcraft, and then they basically, burn in my last name on it. So what I could do is contact that vendor on Etsy and say, hey, what's the best deal you can give me on these clocks? I want to sell these, but at like a wholesale price. I want to sell these, and, can you do them? And they'll say, sure, I'll give them to you for this price. So you say, can you just send me a picture of a blank clock? So I need a blank clock with no name written on it because I need it blank. So you take that blank picture, you drop it into Customplex, you add in your layer like I showed you earlier, and Russell's going to cover this in more detail, but you add in your little personalization layer where the last name would go. So somebody comes to your site, they see this really cool clock that nobody else has, right? Because this product is very unique. Nobody else has this because you found it with this little supplier on Etsy. So you basically throw it up there, you sell it. So what happens when your order comes in, you simply email the order. So it's still hands off. You email the order directly to your Etsy supplier. They go ahead and create the clock. They go ahead and burn the name on there, and they ship the clock out, and they send you a tracking code back. You drop the tracking code into Shopify, which automatically sends an email to your customer saying your personalized clock is on its way. Here's the tracking code, right? So it's still totally hands off, but it's a way to grab a product that nobody else even knows about, that nobody else is probably even selling. So it gives you a way to differentiate yourself from even using a standard type product. So it's yet another way that you could find some golden nugget products that somebody's on Etsy, they're really trying to, so you're going to help out, a local business person that's trying to create and sell their products, and you're going to make money in the process. So obviously there's all, power personalization. You can put things on anything. You can personalize anything. So who wants to see this in action? Who wants to see Customplex full blown? We'll lift up the hood, take you behind the scenes, show you exactly how it works. And Doug's saying yes. Jennifer, Tony, Jennifer says, how would have these products? So Jennifer, what you do is you can go to Etsy and search for products, and then you got to contact the vendor and you can work out a deal. And I think Etsy actually has a new wholesale site. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they do, where you can find the wholesale site where vendors over there will sell you products at wholesale. And basically, so that means it's a lower price than retail, which then you can go ahead and mark it up, sell it at retail, and then just pay them through the wholesale pricing. Derry, you're not printing the products. Those are going to be handled all by companies for you. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make sure Russell's ready, and I'm going to hand it over to Russell, and he's going to go ahead and take you behind the scenes. So Russell, are you ready to take over the wheel, or the controls, I should say?
Better believe it. I'm right here.
All right.
Let's do this.
I'm going to shift it over to Russell and hit yes. So you should be getting controls, and we can now see your screen. Can everybody see Russell's screen? You should see a T-shirt. You should see Customplex. Just type yes. Let me know you guys can see it. Okay, looks like it's all good. So with that said, Russell, I'm going to mute out and let you take things away.
Well, thank you very much, Keith. I'm so blown away by how Keith presents things. Anyway, I'm going to go really fast through this and just show you guys some of the key features and talk through how it works so you can see it, because those slides were screenshots, but this is really live right now. So this is an example of a shirt built in Customplex, and I'm going to show you the shirt and how the whole thing works, but I just wanted to show you the front end. So if you have a Shopify store, this is one of our demo stores that we use for development. This is what it would look like to your customers. So they would come on here and say, for example, you would have a design built like this, and how we recommend doing it is, let me show you this really quick because this is pretty interesting and key. You have a designer give you a design like this. So we would have a designer give a design like this, where you can see how it would actually look once the names were entered. Then we ask them to provide the font. In this case, it's Cardinio Modern, because that any font can be used in Customplex. And then we have the regular, kind of print-on-demand art with the transparent background. So in Customplex, we just fill in that piece, because the way Customplex works is in layers. So this artwork is one layer, and then the customized text is a different layer. And you could have multiple layers of both design and text in really an unlimited way. And interestingly enough, we even put in recently a photo upload feature, so that could be another layer, or in lieu of customized text, you could have a design that has spaces, say, for people to upload photos of their grandkids or loved ones or their favorite dog or whatnot, and then and combine that with customized text, or just have that on its own. And coming up very soon are layers, and I'm going to tell you what's coming up soon after this so we don't get confused. So anyway, that's how we get the designs, and then we go back into Customplex and create the text, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. Going back to this is what it would look like for your customer who visits your store. And then, so let's say we have some grandkids' names, Lisa, Freddie, and John. And you go like this, and now Customplex is doing its work. And look at that. So that's customized text right there. And then the person that you noticed the shopping cart was blanked out. And then if you add to cart, this would be in your store. Check this out. It's really neat. It even has a thumbnail with the customized text right there, really small. So it gives the customer that continuity in your store, so all the way they could just check out. So this is what that item looks like in the back end of Customplex. So this is kind of the interface where you do that creation. And so I uploaded that art that I showed you. Let me go back to that. This art is this image is this layer. I would be an awesome Nana, blah, blah, blah. So then I put this field in here, and see how it says grandkids' names? This is a text field, so it's just another layer in Customplex. And that layer is right here. And we're on that layer, so and then these are the types of controls you have on that text layer. It's very flexible. You can lock it to all caps so that when they enter in the names, it will be in all caps. I didn't do that, but you have the option to do that. You can lock different axes or resize it, make it smaller or larger. You can select, and this is really, really cool, you can upload any font into your Customplex and it'll be stored there. You just have to use a TTF font, but if you have an OTF format font, it's super easy to have it saved as the TTF font. You just go to Google and type, OTF to TTF font translator and do a couple of clicks and you've got it. And then you can choose obviously any font color, and then you can also put a stroke around the text and define the width, rotate the text in any direction, or one of my favorites, bend the text. Look. So let's say we go like this. So in this case, on the shirt, it would bend the text. That was a little bit too much bending, but let's see if you did a slight bend. But this works in a lot of designs, and then you could stretch it out or do whatever you want, and that's how it would show up on the actual shirt or item you are selling. And then you simply go like this, done, and then you update the product and you're set. And it works if there's two-sided apparel items or other types of products. It works with two-sided products as well. And you just set the prices for the products right here. So you could click on this little thing and you could select, in this case, the colors of the products. Would you like to see how it is adding a new product? So I'm getting a lot of yeses, so I'll just run through it really, really quick. It's very similar to that. You just go like this, and then let's say you wanted to add one of our integrated vendors right now is called Printex. So let me explain, because we always get a lot of questions on this, the difference between integrated and non-integrated vendors. In integrated vendor, the main difference is we already have their products and their mock-ups loaded up in the system for you to use. And right now we only have 2 of these integrated vendors, but we're adding more. But to add a non-integrated vendor is quite easy, because you just need some mock-up images, and then you could go in the software, create a new vendor, and then in a few minutes, literally a few minutes, can have a new vendor up and running. So this vendor is integrated. So let's say I'm just adding this kind of shirt. These are some of the different products they offer, and you would just go here. You could do this with any color. This would be the mock-up. And anyway, let's say we would select that color, and we would make that the front, the mock-up that would show on our store. We would add the prices, upload the art or the layers, and you would go like this, and then you would add the text layer, and that's it. So that's basically how you do it. And then all the products show up inside of your Customplex. So this is that Nana shirt right here. And it's just taking a minute to load. But let's say you have other products like this laser marked bamboo board. Let's check this one out. It's the same sort of thing. So this is what the customer would see, and then they could enter the name. Let's enter the name Keith, Russ, and Pat. Well, I won't enter my own name. I'll just say Keith and Pat. Okay, so let's watch this render. And this is an example of the curved text. Now for this, I would advise maybe making it a dark gray, but look at this. This was loaded up super fast, and this mandala is one piece of art. This I love is another piece of art, and then this Keith and Pat is another layer. That's the custom text layer, and that literally only took a few minutes to load up. So if you can imagine the power of this, it's quite phenomenal. So going back to this is what it looks like for the products. And then when you have an order, if you want to add a new printer, this is what it looks like in the interface where all the printers are. And if you want to look what the order processing looks like, if the vendor is not integrated, it says email. You just click that email button. If the vendor is integrated, it just automatically sends the order if you set it to automatically send. So you could have control. If you have a control that says send my order, that button will show up. Otherwise, we have a scheduler that automatically will send the orders. I think it's every 4 hours. And you could do that to the ones that you email your orders to as well, because we have some very high volume e-commerce store owners utilizing the software. We just are, I think that feature's been rolled out. If not, it's right on the edge of having been tested and rolling out. Okay, so this is one order example showing 3 different custom products. So obviously this is our demo store, but this is what it would look like. And you could also download the print file for yourself, but it keeps these things here. So if you ever got a return and your customer said, hey, you put the wrong name on, you put Fred and I wrote John, you could say, huh, that's interesting because we have it timestamped and you put John, and that's how that goes. So I think that's it for the demo right now.
Excellent. Do you guys, I mean, what do you guys think so far? I mean, it just, the easy use, the ability to, you know, personalize products. Let's see what Darius says. So you think that print on demand, like mugs and T-shirts, and better than, well, Darius, it all depends. I mean, like I was saying earlier, with the major benefit of print on demand with personalization is it's personalized, right? when you allow people to put their names on things, when you allow people to put their pictures and things like that, there's a stronger emotional connection versus selling a necklace or a watch or a phone case or a phone cable from AliExpress. There's no emotional connection to buying that, right? So that's where the benefit here. Now, when you have personalization, two things happen. You have that emotional connection, which you don't have with a standard product. And two, when people buy personalized things, they know they're going to pay more. So typically you can charge more, which gives you a bigger margin on things because people are willing to do that. You should show them. Did you show them the ring, Russell? I love my ring that I put on there. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool.
Are you still seeing my screen?
Yep. Yeah, we still see your screen.
Okay, so there were a couple of other things that I wanted to show you guys, so I'm glad we didn't go off. And I love this ring Keith put up because he did it in just a couple of minutes. It's even he just threw it up, so it's even a low resolution mock-up, but it doesn't matter because it just shows you the power of this. So I could put my wife's name, her name is Amor, and click to preview. Look at that.
Yeah,
So imagine,
somebody challenged me. They're like, "Oh, that's all great, but I sell rings, and and people can personalize and put like something on the inside of their ring." I'm like, "Okay." It took me about 15 minutes or so, and I was able to do it. So how many people think that's pretty cool? You could literally take a ring like this. Now, how would you deliver on this? Well, you'd have to find a ring supplier. There is suppliers on AliExpress that would deliver this, so you could put this ring on. So I took this ring picture off of AliExpress, and I just added the layer in there. So if somebody places that order, they would they would come in, then you would order it from AliExpress, drop ship it directly to the consumer. So there's an extra step. It's not as easy as print on demand, but you can still offer personalized products if you wanted to find something different.
So I wanted to also share with you guys something that we're just very close to finishing up on, and it's masked layers. And this really takes this product to a totally different level, because what masked layers do is that they enable either a photo or artwork to conform to certain spaces. And so if you can imagine, it's kind of like, all over prints are very popular. So if you can have a layer in the background of an all over print of, let's say, kids playing baseball, and then a kid's little league photograph on top of that, and then their name, that's like the ultimate personalization. And we think that's where the technology that we've been building for over a year and a half now is really going to be differentiated from anything. There's nothing really remotely close to that I've seen in the market. So we're super jazzed about that feature rollout too.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back over here. And all right. Excellent. So you guys should be seeing my screen now, which says more ideas and the future. Can you see that? Can you guys see the blue screen with a hand? Let's make sure we got the right screen showing for everybody. Excellent. So what we're always working on improvements, and you guys have some really great questions. One of the things Russell mentioned was, like the layers and the different cutting things out. So all over prints are really, big and popular. So we're working on that to where you could add a design and do an all over print. Things like, we showed this kind of an example, like a laptop cover case, like a bamboo case, where it could be, this is kind of like a burned in, engraving type thing. This was really cool that when I talked to Tobias and he sent me this, he's like, yeah, check this out. So here's a company that offers personalized bats, right? I mean, how cool is this? The marketplace when it comes to children's sports is just massive. And I'm talking about not just, there's so many different things, with girls softball and baseball and soccer and football and all these different sports. But just one piece here is so cool where you could basically have it to where you have a bat and somebody could put in their child's name and they could order a personalized bat. I mean, it's just amazing what you can do. Now, this is stuff that's coming that we're working on. Etched glass. Etched glass is totally cool where you can, take a wine glass, anything like, that has glass on it and put an etching on it. Putting on mugs, putting on like the Yeti type cups. Here's more of a glass etching type thing. So some people are asking the question, I want to cover it, but they said, well, who's integrated? Because you keep hearing us saying integrated, non-integrated. What does that mean, right? So let me try to simplify it for you so you understand. So integrated basically means well, actually I'll give you something really simple that you know, integrated is kind of like if you have an Apple phone, right? Then you can use Apple chargers. So that's what integrated is, you know. So that if you have an Apple phone, you can use Apple chargers. So integrated suppliers are basically tied into the system, which just it makes it one step easier for you to process orders. So what we have now is you saw Printful, which they have everything from posters to the frame posters, canvas, T-shirts, mugs. They have the hats, the cut sew department, which is their pillows, and some of you know they have other things that we're working on adding, the sublimation stuff as well as the phone cases. The other supplier now, Printful's okay, and I think their quality is good, but their margins aren't as great, you know, and that's okay. But I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you guys straight out. So what we did is we actually went out and we have a relationship with Printex. Right, so Printex is in Printex you could do everything from shirts to hoodies to sweatshirts to bags, aprons. So the cooking market is huge. The baby market is big, so you can do bibs, wine totes. The wine market in itself is ridiculous. Can holders, or they call like the koozies, pillowcases, the mugs, water bottles. One of the coolest products that Printex actually have, and you guys may have seen this on other sites, but Printex has those color changing mugs where when it's filled with like the hot, it shows the design, and then when it cools down, it turns a different color and covers up the design. I don't even know how they do that stuff. That's ridiculous that they can put your design on there and then it changes colors. But we have that product available that you can actually sell through Printex. So Printex, the margins are really great, and you can sell all these products, and they're integrated. So what that means is you put the product up, you pick Printex as your supplier, you drop the product right in. It's easier. It's hands off. You don't have to deal with anything. You just pay Printex for the actual cost of creating the product, and that's it. It's totally hands off. Jennifer, they have those because they use this supplier. So it's actually the same supplier, Jennifer. And there obviously there's more vendors on the way. We're always in talks, and we're always trying to bring in more integrations. But you can use anybody you want. Now it just means that there might be just one extra step in there. So let's say you picked a different provider, like some people asked about, like, you know, Custom Cat or something like that. So what you could do is you could still set it up on Customplex, and then when the order comes in, you would just have to go over and push it through to the Customplex, or excuse me, the Custom Cat side. So it would take an extra step. It wouldn't be integrated. It wouldn't be quite as push button simple, but it's still possible. And that's the reason we designed the platform, and we didn't lock it down and say, well, if you use Customplex, you have to use this provider. We didn't want to be like that. We just wanted to give you a really cool piece of software that offers personalization, and you can pick any supplier you want. So that's really what we wanted to do. Those are going to be coming, Tim, with Printex and our other when we get the all over integration done. But Printex has those, and we'll be adding those on. So let me ask you guys this question: are you ready to get started? You know, who's ready to start using Customplex right now? Who's ready to start using Customplex today? Just type yes. If you're like, man, this thing is cool, I want to start using this thing. This is great. And everybody's typing yes, 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 yes. So what we've done, all right, so what we've done, because we told you that this is private, right? So we've created the Customplex Founders Club. So this is a private invite-only club. This is not open to the general public. You can't just go and buy access. It doesn't exist. The only way to get in is on this call. Now, obviously, because Russell and Tobias and Pat are owners in Customplex, you know, and you know, me being on the e-com inspector side with Pat and Russell, we put this deal together. Otherwise, this isn't available to the general public. So the only reason you're here is because you guys have connections. So you're lucky that you're here and you're getting this private invite to the Founders Club. All right, so there's some requirements that we like to look at, right? You must be willing to use the app, right? You got to be willing to use this and implement it for yourself. You must truly want to give value and provide a benefit to your market. You must conduct yourself in a professional manner. Everything is above board. Just like today, we try to show you all the ins and outs. We tell you everything. We put everything on the table. That's how we expect to work with the same kind of people as well. So what will this do for you? You're going to be able to build a real personalized print-on-demand business. You'll be able to use the app to attract new business with unique custom products. You'll be able to have the best products to receive the maximum profit. And you'll be able to use all this to meet your lifestyle goals by creating a consistent flow of income. Now, I think, and I know I've done, you know, we've done a recent survey of our user base and of all the people we've dealt with, and I've talked to my extensive users since 2009. And the main thing people seem to really want, and the reason you're here, and the reason people want a business, is they just want a consistent flow of income. Now that number is different for many people. Some of you might say, hey, for 2,000 a month, I'd be happy. Others might want 10, others might want 100,000. That's fine. The thing is we want you to be able to use this to meet your lifestyle goals, whatever they are, whatever that number is, however you want to live your life, however you want to call the shots. It's all about having the freedom to make your own choices and not having to go to somebody and say, oh, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, can I have these days off? Well, no, you can't. That's a busy time. You can't have the time. Okay. No, you shouldn't have to answer to people. You should be able to control your own lifestyle. You should be able to donate to your church, donate to charity, travel when you want to, live your life how you want to, and have a consistent flow of income. So what you actually get when you come into the Founders Club today. So you get you get the Custom Plex private Shopify app. Now, just to give you a quick idea, we put a price tag on this about $10,000. I think that number is extremely low because this product has been in development for almost an entire year. So almost an entire year, we've had multiple developers. Tobias, Pat's been working on it. Russell's been working on it. There's countless hours. This thing, I can't even put a number on it. And I'm not even going to throw a number out because it would probably be way off. The point is $10,000 is just a mere percentage of what we've spent to actually get this thing to market. You're going to get priority email support, so you get direct access, and we have an exclusive Facebook mastermind. So this is where where people, we share new ideas, we interact, we try to help people move forward. It's a support group. So when you actually sign up today, you're going to get immediate access to the app. It's ready to go in the members area. You get direct over-the-shoulder installation training. So you get this thing installed immediately. The training's there. You're ready to go. You're going to get priority email support if you get stuck, and you also get exclusive access to the Facebook exclusive mastermind group. Plus, you get the right tools you need to get success quickly. So what does that mean? How can you have success quickly? You might be saying, well, Keith, that's great. It's an app, but it's not gonna probably help me generate money. It's just an app. You even said it earlier that the app's not gonna do anything unless I do some work, right? So what we did is we actually put together a training series, okay? So it's in-depth training on getting started fast with e-commerce. So we show you how to get started fast with Custom Plex. You're going to discover how to identify markets to sell in. So some people are like, I don't quite know what to pick. Some of you may already have a market or a niche that you can sell in. Some people don't know. We're going to show you how to do the research and find ideal markets. We're going to show you how to craft winning product descriptions that sell. So other people are like, hey, I got a niche, I got it all down. But sometimes their product description just isn't right. There's ways to fine tune it that you're going to get higher conversions from people. We also do a deep dive into finding audiences on Facebook that buy, right? That's the key right there. That's the key that a lot of people miss is how can I get the traffic to my page? And not only how can I get the traffic, how can I get traffic to my page that converts, all right? We're going to show you exactly how to identify that in this training. So what you get the Founders Club private Shopify app, one-site license, the priority email support, the exclusive Facebook mastermind, and then you get the workshop of getting started fast. So now you have the tool and the training and the support to be able to have the potential success that you want. We didn't stop there. We added an in-depth training. So in this in-depth, so this is like part 2 of the training, we show you what ad copy to use to make people rush. So now not only do we got your store set up, and we show you who to target. Now we're going to show you how to put the ads together and the ad copy to use to get people to come to your store. We show you how to manage and use breakpoint ROI for maximum return. So we show you how to get the sales going and how to manage those sales and how to do that. And then we also show you how to scale with stacking. So it's a cool tactic we use to stack, and so you can increase profits, because once you have sales going, you want to stack and get potentially more sales, and we're going to show you how to do that. So what you get the one-site license, you get the priority email support, you get the exclusive Facebook mastermind, and you get the getting started fast bonus, as well as the workshop advanced tactics bonus. So we didn't stop there. Well, we did for right now. So like I said, the app easily could sell for 10 grand because we've spent almost a year of development. So you guys can just figure out in your mind how much time and money was actually invested in that. We weren't going to do that, so we said, all right, $5,000, that's a fair price, right? Heck, if this thing took an entire year to develop, is it worth $5,000? If it can help change people's lifestyles, if it can help people get that lifestyle and the freedom they want, is it worth 5 grand? Sure, it is. But we decided we weren't going to do that. So then we said, we'll go back to the old standby, $19.95. Everybody likes that price. It's what everybody launches products at, right? we said it's certainly a deal. It's a good deal to get this phenomenal app that nobody else has. They don't have this capability. They can't do what we can do with an app. So we said $19.95 is a great price. But then we said, you know what? No, we're not going to do it like that. Then we decided we're going to add an extra bonus in for you guys. So anybody that comes in to the actual Founders Club, you're going to get 4 more Shopify licenses. So just think about that. You can run this on 5 different stores because right now you just had 1 license, but now you have 4 more. So that gives you 5 total licenses. Some people have general stores and then they break into niche stores and they need different licenses. So you're going to get 5 separate licenses. So basically, here's everything you're going to get. You get the private site license, the priority email support, the exclusive Facebook mastermind, the workshop of getting started fast, the workshop of advanced tactics. These are all trainings that are in the members area. They're ready to go for you right now. And then you get 4 more site licenses and the total value well over $17,000, right? So here's what we decided to do for you guys. We actually have 3 tiers. We wanted to make this so that anybody could get started. So that's what we've done here today. So what we've done is you can get in today for a monthly cost of just $97. If you decide you want to save some money, you can pay yearly. So you're going to save, 2 payments there if you get that, roughly 2 payments. Or we actually have a lifetime deal. So we actually have a lifetime deal that you can pay one price and it's lifetime. So you never have to pay another monthly or yearly fee again. And you get full access to all the future upgrades, everything we do, because we have a massive roadmap of everything we're doing. You never have to pay anything again. Now, if you do monthly or yearly, you're still going to get the upgrades during that time, but obviously there's renewal periods and you would pay for that renewal. So everybody that's ready to get started, if you go to customplex.com/ecom inspector, INSP, and I'm going to drop this in and make it easier for you guys so that you can, I'm going to send this to everybody here. And I'll put the link over here. All right, so I'm going to send this over. So all you have to do is go to that link, customplex.com/ecom inspector, which is INSP, and you can either choose on that page. You'll probably see the yearly price. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a link for monthly or lifetime. And Tony, no, there's no payment plan for monthly, or for the lifetime. It is what it is. We know it's a little more expensive, but we've put so much time into this app and we're going to continue to develop it. But if you wanted to, you could come in at a monthly or a yearly price and still get full access to the application. Now, this is only going to be open for a limited time because, as you know, this is invite only. So part of the Founders Club thing is we only keep it open for a brief period. So today being Thursday, most likely we're going to keep this offer open until Sunday evening. We'll process the replay, we'll send it out to everybody, and then we'll most likely be closing this special Founders Club offer down on Sunday evening. So if we do decide to reopen it in the future, these prices most likely, they could change. We haven't made that decision yet. But right now, as it stands, the only way to get in is to go to customplex.com/ecom INSP, and you can either choose yearly, monthly, or you can do the lifetime option, which is the best deal because you never have to pay another fee and you get all the future developments as we build out. And Sarge Scott says, I came in late, is this only for Shopify? Right now the app is designed to fully work on the Shopify platform. So as of right now, yes, Shopify is the major platform we're running on. Yoom says, can we start with 97 and then upgrade? I tell you what we'll do, and I don't even know. Let me ask Russell. Russell, are you okay if people come in at 97 and then as long as they're in the family, if they're in the Founders Club, if let's say in a month they want to upgrade to yearly or lifetime, would you be okay with that?
I think if there's a good reason for that, or if somebody wants to get rolling and make some money, and then that's the reason that would be okay. But we didn't design it like that.
Yeah, I would say that, and Russell's trying to, so depending on the case-by-case basis, so, if you come into the Founders Club, get in at the 97, start generating some revenue because maybe you didn't have it. So, present the case. You can send them a support in. Russell will look at them case by case. And, if you get in, you're like, oh, this is great, I want to upgrade. Like you said, he'll make a decision, and depending on what your situation is, there's a good chance that you could upgrade to one of the other methods so that you could save some money. Let me see. Sounds good. I can. This is our. We got that covered. All right. Tim says. So Tim asks, what's the refund policy? There is no refund policy, Tim. This is an application. Like I said, we've spent an entire year designing this, and I'm going to give you guys some advice, and I'm not going to try to sound mean with this. But sometimes it comes across a little bit harsh. So this is a software application that will, that most people do not have access to because it offers the personalization. So you're getting full access to the application, whether you buy monthly, yearly, or lifetime. So it's a subscription-based thing. So if you come in for the month, you pay for the month, and you decide you don't want to continue on, then you just cancel, and then you won't have to actually pay. You won't have to pay any more after that. But if you have the mindset of what's the refund, if that's your first question on the top of your head, Tim, you might need to just think about and reframe where your thoughts are going, because if you're already setting yourself up for, to me in my mind, when I say refund, what's the refund? I'm already thinking, well, there's a potential for failure. So if I've already planted a little bit of seed of failure in my mind, it's going to be hard for me to overcome that. So the ideal thing is to say, look, man, this thing is great. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to buy the lifetime. I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to make it work. So I'm not even going to worry about needing a refund, because I'm going to make my money back hopefully as quickly as possible and continue to generate revenue from that point forward. So you want to put yourself in the mindset of abundance and thinking forward in a positive manner, not, well, is there a safety net? Well, the safety net is we have a full support system. We have the exclusive Facebook group, so we're there to help you. We don't want to see anybody fail. So we don't want to see anybody invest and come into the Founders Club and not have success. That's not our goal. And the reason for the Founders Club is to allow a few people in to build up. And if we do decide to launch this to the general public at a higher price point, that we'll have some really good case studies to take to the general public. So that's kind of where we are with everything. Let me see. Tim, yeah, Tim, did you miss some of the webinar? Because we covered everything in a lot of detail. So if that's the case, that's fine, and maybe that's why you're asking that, because you kind of missed some things and you just had some questions. But the replay will kind of walk you through all that, and we'll cover all the features. And trust me, we spent basically an entire year developing this. So nobody's going anywhere, and I understand, other people have been burned in the past where they've jumped in, but Russell and Pat and Tobias have spent well over a year of their blood, sweat, and tears, as well as we have other designers on staff. We have other coders and developers. So this thing is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and we're going to continue to develop it. And that's why we have a massive development board with all these other feature sets, and we keep cranking away on them to make things better for people. So I understand, and I'm sorry that that's happened to you, but especially if you look at everybody's background on this call, Russell built a successful e-commerce business and then sold it. Pat, similar success. Tobias and myself, similar success in internet marketing. We've been around for a long time. I've been around since 2009. We stand behind everything. So we're going to be here, and we're going to help you make this thing work. All right. So you're not going to need your money back. You're not going to need a refund. You're just going to dive in. You're going to focus. And if you get stuck, if you need help, we're going to be there. We're going to be there to help you move past that. And if you have ideas too, right? We're here. We welcome ideas as you guys come up with better ways to use the software. You think of something that we could add. We have a suggestion tool where you can send in information. And if we think it's a good feature, we potentially are going to add it to the software. All right, let's see. Will there be a recording? Yes, we're trying. We're recording it, so barring we don't have any issues, that won't be a problem. All right, can the monthly plan be canceled or no? Bill, it's monthly. So Bill, if you're, I know, and that's why we tried to do this. Here's the thing. We wanted to make sure that we could let more people in for a barrier to entry. So we basically, that's why we made the monthly. We figured $97 would be a low enough point that some people could get in if they weren't quite sure, if they wanted to just test the system out, and try to get things going with it. And then of course we have the yearly for people that wanted a discount, and then lifetime for people that never want to pay it monthly. So that's the reason that we basically priced these out the way that they did. And then you can cancel, right? So you can just come in for a month. If you try it out and decide it's not for you, it's just like any other subscription. You simply just cancel. You can send an email, we'll cancel it, and you don't have to pay any fees after that. So there's no problem there. All right, does anybody else have any other questions before we wrap things up? And we'll stay to answer any questions. Do you have any questions on the software, anything that we could do to help you get going? Let me see, make sure I didn't miss any. Can you go over the training included again? I'm technical. So Kimmer asked about the training again. So let me, Terry, yes, you would, Terry, normally you're going to, well, actually we do have some graphics that we give you, but ideally the best thing is to come up with your own ideas and come up with your own graphics before you would actually, do that. That would be the best possible path. Do we have to pay more to get so no, you have 5 licenses, right, to start. So you have 5 and I'm sorry, Kimmer, I'm gonna back up here for you in a second. I didn't forget about you. You have 5 licenses. So if you need more after that, we could work something out. We could work out something for you if you're building that many stores. So Kimmery wanted me to go backwards. So let me do that for her to show you. Okay, so here's the first one. Okay, so the first training that you're getting this is a full e-commerce training. This I think is about an hour and a half worth of training, and we actually essentially show you here how to get started fast. That's the whole goal of this training and why it was set up. We show you how to discover and identify ideal markets. So if you don't have a market pick, we show you how to do that. We're going to show you how to craft winning product descriptions. We're going to show you how to find audiences on Facebook, how to do that research and find audiences that buy. And then I'm going to go to the second slide for you. And the second part of that training is we're going to show you, this is the in-depth training. I think this is about another, because it was actually 2 things. This is about 3 hours worth of training altogether. So then we show you what ad copy to use to make people come into the store. So we show you how to do that. We show you how to manage and use breakpoint ROI, so how to manage the finances. And then we show you how to scale with stacking so you can increase your profits. So I hope that answered all your questions for you, Kimmer. If you have any other ones, please feel free to ask, and I would be happy to answer them for you while we're still live here on the call. And I apologize if sometimes I talk really fast. I probably should have said this earlier, but I get excited when I talk about things that I really am passionate about. So sometimes I talk really fast. So if I talked really fast today and I went through something really quick and it didn't quite make sense, or we went through it too fast, we'll be happy to slow things down and show you and answer your questions. Okay, let's see what the software integrated with card and band. The software, here's the cool thing, Doug, right? So you talked about, this is a great question, Doug. Thank you for asking this. So Doug asked, will this software integrate with a cart abandonment app? Well, here's the cool thing. Shopify has the cart abandonment apps. They're already built into Shopify. So if you have Customplex, it's its own application. So you create your product, you put it up, you sell it. If somebody abandons your cart on your Customplex product, the cart abandonment app kicks in and sends them an email with that product. So yes, it fully integrates with all the apps on Shopify because it's its own app. So it's not like standalone. It doesn't have to integrate with the abandonment. It works totally independent of that app. Tim says, great question. If we find a product on AliExpress or other, do we stock the inventory? No, absolutely not, Tim. You do not want to stock inventory. It's the worst thing you can do. It's a pain in the butt. So what you do is you drop ship everything. So if you find it on AliExpress, you contact that vendor and you ship it directly from them to your customer. Never put your hands on it. If you don't have to touch it, why touch it? So that's my philosophy. So we find it, we drop ship it directly from the vendor. Stacy says, are shoes available with your integrated suppliers? With the 2 suppliers we have now, I'm not sure. Russell and Tobias, guys, I don't know if we have, I don't know if they're talking about adding shoes or not.
We're talking with a few of them, so we should have something like that soon. We knew of a few providers just testing them at the moment if they are good.
Okay, there you go, Stacy. So we're in talks with the potential providers. I can't give you an exact time frame, but we are in talks to add in a shoe supplier. Brian said, did you say you have the ability to use photos? Yes. Brian, that's one of the coolest features that we just added recently where the person can upload their photo to customize the item even more. So yes, you upload the photo and that's fine. Sarge says, can these products be sold off of Shopify? I'm not sure how you would do that because the Shopify application is what creates the personalized product, Sarge. So I know you kind of came on late, but the product is, it's an application on Shopify. So you set up the product with the personalization where somebody can put their name or whatever they wanted on it. And then when they type that information in, it creates that graphic that would send it off to a print-on-demand supplier so they could create the product. So you could sell it somewhere else, but you'd still have to probably input it in your Shopify store if you wanted to create the graphics and send it out that way. I'm not sure what, if you kind of give me a little more insight on what you're trying to do, I can try to help you maybe figure out how it could work. But as it stands right now, it'd be ideally to sell it directly through Shopify. Is there an easy order tracking and CRM in the back end of Customwise? It's all in Shopify, Joe, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Is there an easy order? Okay, so we got you covered there. Probably a lot of people will be interested in one domain lifetime license, just a thought. Again, yeah, I mean, that's, to me personally, when I find a tool that I really like that can change my business and can really, add to the bottom line, me personally, I don't like to pay monthly or yearly. If I can get a lifetime license to something, I'd rather do that, especially when I know the company is going to be around and they're going to stand behind it, continue to develop it, because I know it's just one fee and I can absorb it up front as an expense and I don't have to, continue to have it each and every month and it's already done. Terry says, as an example, if we customize a flask from AliExpress, does the product have to be shipped to customers and then shipped to the... No. You would ship... So perfect example, Terry. If that flask that I showed, you put it on your store, somebody places the order, you get the order in, then you would have to go to AliExpress, place that order, and then you're going to ship it directly through AliExpress. It's drop shipped directly to the customer. You don't put your hands on it. Lionel says, okay, so we're going to check with that. Lionel, I'm not sure. The guys on the back end are working on that. So we'll see why that's, you should be able to pay, even if you click on PayPal and then use credit card, you should be able to use Visa if you need to, if you didn't want to use PayPal. Upgrade here. All right, so Pat's actually jumping in on the call with us here too. He's behind the scenes, so Pat's trying to handle some of the if you guys are having any issues on the back end, we will get you taken care of. Kimmery says the 97 per month will include, yes, you get the full Founders Club package. So you guys are coming in. So Founders Club means you get everything we talked about, the 5 licenses, all the advanced training, all the bonuses, everything. So even at the 97, you're still going to get all that, the entire bonus package. I was not able to, planning today. Oh, let me meet you out there. All right, so Jay, the guys behind the scenes will see if we can handle that for you. We'll see what we can do there. Yumi says, so why can't you just use print-on-demand service to customize the t-shirt for the customers if they just send you the order note what they want? Just curious. Well, you could, Yumi, but you're missing the whole point of the power of personalization. So like I talked about earlier, and maybe you weren't on the call when I talked about this, when people get to see the product created before them, it creates an emotional connection with the product, right? So if I see that product with that pillowcase I showed earlier and I put a child's name on it, my child's name on it, and their date of birth and their weight and all that, if I took the time to fill that out, Now I have an emotional connection with that product. If I just fill out the information in a text field, it's not personal. So the emotional connection isn't there. So a lot of times they're going to be like, they might just leave because they can't even see what it looks like. But if I can see it in front of me, so now I see my child's name, it's on the thing, or I see my wife's name, my partner's name, I see it in front of me, I'm going to have a stronger emotional connection right there directly on the screen, and you're going to potentially increase your conversions because of that. So yes, you can do the simple way. You can go to Amazon right now and find products that you just type in the field, and everybody can do that. But you want to stand out. You want to be different, and this is what this product will allow you to be able to do. All right, we're going to wrap things up here in just a minute. All right, cool. All right, support email. We have support, I believe, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we have support at customplex.com. So Pat or Russell or Tobias, correct me if that is wrong. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
Nope, that's correct. Support at customplex.com.
All right, so if you guys, if you're having any problems, because I see that behind the scenes it looks like PayPal might be acting a little funky, which is no surprise to me because they're just weird. So if you're having any problem ordering, take down that email, support at customplex.com. Send in the message. We have the guy, everybody's behind the scenes right now trying to help you guys. So if you're having those problems, send that email over. We will get you help right now and get you, even if we have to jump on a Skype call with you to get this resolved, we'll get you squared away and we'll get you in the system so you get what you need. Ganti, thank you. I appreciate your interaction, Ganti. So thank you for taking the time to come today and to participate. Email address again, and I'm sorry, I don't think I sent it to everybody. I think I only sent it to one. So let me. It's support at customplex.com, but I'm going to type it out and send it to everybody again. Send to all. All right, so final call. Anybody have any other questions? If you don't and you're ready to get in, you guys can get in here. I'm going to drop the link one more time so everybody has it. So there's the link to actually get in. So this final call, does anybody have any final questions before we go ahead and wrap things up today? Anything else we can help you with? All right. All right. When will the replay? Sophia, we're going to do our best to try to get the replay out possibly this evening. If not, it'll be tomorrow. Jay, thank you. We'll take your email and we'll make sure we get you taken care of. Tim says, is there an advantage turnaround time for stocked item, mug, pillow that we customize? The advantage of using print-on-demand suppliers like Printax is that the items are here directly, especially if you're selling to the U.S. market. The products are here, so they'll get printed and shipped a lot quicker. Your end user, your customer will receive them faster than if you were to use an AliExpress. Because even AliExpress with ePacket, it's still going to take 12 to 20 days versus print-on-demand that could potentially be at your customer within 7 days, within a week. So there is definitely a benefit of using that. So once again, I am seeing that PayPal's acting silly behind the scenes. So if you're having any issues, I'm going to drop the support email again, support at customplex.com. If you're having trouble getting in, we'll make sure we get you in at whatever level you're trying. Just send us the support email. Like I said, we have the guys are behind the scenes right now trying to figure this out, making sure that you guys don't have any issues. The problem is we just added in this monthly thing today, so you guys are the only ones to ever see this. So So we got these set up, but they're acting a little wonky. So we apologize if you're having a problem, but unfortunately, it's not us. It's the system. So we're working on it. So if you're trying to get in and you can't, send an email to support@customplex.com, and we will get you resolved and we'll get you taken care of. So with that said, everybody, what we're going to do, we'll wrap things up. I want to get the replay process because we've got people asking for it. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this call. If you are having a problem, get in support@customplex.com. Go ahead and send us an email. We'll get you squared away, and we'll get you taken care of and in the system. So I appreciate you guys taking the time today, spending some time here with us, and I'm looking forward to working with all the new people that got in. It's really exciting to see you join the Founders Club. So with that said, everybody, we'll talk to you guys all soon. Have a great day, and God bless.